Hi, hack friends. Welcome back. I'm excited that you are tuning in this lovely Thursday. Today, I have a few things in store for you. First, we're going to talk about the spring challenge that was undergoing the last few weeks. Want to see how everyone has been doing and show you what I've been doing so far and what we can do for some coloring ideas. Next, I'm also going to talk about some internet safety today. A lot of us are probably spending a bit more time on the computer while we're not in school, but even when we're in school, it's good to know these things moving forward in our lives, just so we can keep ourselves safe and not get into any situations that are not so great for us or maybe aren't going to make us feel very well. So that's internet safety, and then we're going to talk about some of the popular apps that a lot of us are using and some different safety features that you can use and things that you need to know to keep yourself safe online. So to begin the spring challenge, I hope everyone has seen those creatures that I put on there, like the Canadian goose and the squirrel. Those are pretty common right now. I wanted to show you some of the things that I saw this month. It's not complete yet. I'm still working on it. But I saw a chipmunk on a trail while I was biking, and I saw my first robin the other day while I was biking as well, so that's pretty exciting. I saw a mallard. They have a really green neck and bright orange feet, and I actually saw him hanging out in a parking lot in a pond. I thought that was pretty funny. And I actually saw a red fox a few weeks ago too, when I was a little bit more in the country than the city. But we also saw a coyote this month too. I forgot about him. He was in the city in the river valley. So just being out in the river valley is where I saw most of these creatures. Like, there is a lot to see here in the city. I hope you guys saw some. For the coloring, the photo that we're basing our thing off has a yellow in the middle that has representing the sun, because of course the sunrise and the sunset is impacted by the sun. Actually, the temperatures are impacted by the sun, how much sunlight we're getting. Our weather is impacted by the sun. So that sun in the center really highlights that a lot of our weather systems are actually being impacted by the sun. If you are confused about what color any of those animals are, Google search it and find an image, and I'm sure you'll be able to recreate it. You can use pencil crayons. I'm going to use watercolors. You can use markers. You can use crayons. There's all sorts of things that you can try. So I hope you enjoy coloring that in. And I will show you my finished product next week. And if you want to upload a photo, your parents can upload it to Facebook so I can see. That would be great. Okay, so now we're going to go into internet safety. Sorry if this sounds a little bit listy. I didn't really know how else to communicate this without kind of creating a bit of a list of different things to look out for. Once we go through internet safety, I'm going to talk about Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok and some of the things that you can do to keep safe on there. Okay, so to begin, for internet safety, remember, the internet is forever. So what you post now will be on for your entire lifetime. And if you do embarrassing things or silly things or mean things now, those are things you're going to look back on to in years to come, and you're going to still see those things. So you need to be really careful what you post, because if you are posting things and say in the future you're trying to get a job and someone sees a video of you being a bratty kid, that might end up impacting your chances. So you want to make sure you're really careful about what you're posting online. Also, with that, to keep your privacy and your safety online, it's really advisable to use a screen name or a nickname, especially in like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, those personal accounts. It's probably a good idea to have a screen name so people can't just easily find you in your personal life. So that's something I definitely advise. Also, in this day and age, using really weak passwords isn't a good idea. It makes you easily hackable, and unfortunately that is a thing that we have to watch out for. You would be surprised how many people are using password as a password or 12345 as a password. Those are so easily guessable. That's not a good idea. We definitely recommend you making difficult passwords with numbers, capitalized letters, and actually not real words, and then writing them down in a safe keeping place. You don't always have to say I forgot my password, so keep those safe. Okay, next one is about protecting your privacy. If there's a place that the public can see, even on your private accounts, do not post your phone number, don't post your address, your personal photos, emails, passwords, or even maybe your last name in some places, because you don't want to be that easily searchable. that's your private information. Those are things that people can use to find you, to scam you, to hack you. Those are things that are really should be kept guarded, and you need to be careful what you're posting online with those things. Another thing that I would recommend is using kidssearch.com. This search engine will allow you to have information that is quite valid and credible, but also you can avoid advertisements and things that you don't want to see. I definitely recommend using that. And it'll also pull out information that is more easily understood as a kid rather than just an adult. So I definitely recommend using kidssearch.com. Next thing I've talked about before in healthy habits is limiting your screen time to 2 hours a day. Believe it or not, if you spend too much time on the computer and in front of screens, it can actually negatively impact your mental well-being. And I don't know about you, but I would rather feel healthier than unhealthy. My next tip is something that you need to be really cautious about, and that is being careful if you're meeting someone offline. Remember, if you create screen names, you can create profiles, I think it's called catfishing, where you can create profiles that aren't you, aren't actually, are made up. And when you go to meet someone offline, it might not be the person you're expecting, and that could be very dangerous. So I would highly recommend that you make sure you include your parents in any decision making. If you are choosing to meet somebody offline, you need to be very, very, very cautious. Okay? Next one is be smartphone safe. In this day and age, our private information is becoming very valuable. You need to be cautious with what information you're giving to what programs and apps. So be cautious when you're downloading apps, what information you're giving away. And also don't answer phone numbers you don't know. It's like talking to a stranger. You don't know who it is. You shouldn't answer that number. If you ever come across videos or content that is making you feel uncomfortable online, tell your teacher, tell your parent, tell your guardian, even tell a friend. Maybe they can say, oh, like that's not weird, or yeah, that is very concerning, that shouldn't be online. There's a lot of things that kids are being exposed to online that they should not be seeing, and that's not just like adult things, but like very inappropriate things that you shouldn't see online. So if you tell a parent or you tell a teacher or guardian, you can report these videos on almost any platform these days. And reporting things is very important because it keeps everybody safe. So I definitely recommend that. And if you can't tell a parent, if you're home alone and you see something, just report it. They're not going to know you reported it. The platform can check if that is safe content or if it's not safe content. Don't watch it and just ignore it. Just report it. And the last thing I have to say is be kind. Again, that internet is forever. And if you want to say something to someone offline in like face to face, you should not be saying it online. That's not okay. So we want to create an environment that's healthy for everyone to be in and like comfortable and safe. And you want to make sure that you're being kind online to create a healthy online community. So finally, app safety. Let's first talk about Snapchat. Now, Snapchat's a pretty fun app because you can send funny videos to your friends that are deleted, but it's not as easy as that because you can screenshot them. So just make sure that when you're sending things to your friends, that it's things that you wouldn't mind the whole class seeing, because if someone screenshots something, that can be easily shared. So you need to be careful what you're sharing. Also, I would highly recommend only adding your friends on Snapchat. Don't add strangers. You don't know what they're going to send you, and you don't want to really have to deal with that. So keep it to your close network and only send things that you feel comfortable with everyone seeing. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Instagram, which is also really great because you get to post a lot of awesome photos and see what your friends are doing. So there's a few things that I would recommend. First, if you have created an Instagram account or you are going to, I would recommend choosing a screen name or a nickname so that you're not easily searchable by your name, or you're not revealing your name either to people. Make your profile private, which means strangers can't just add you and start following you. Only people that you approve, that you know, can follow you on Instagram. Do not add people you don't know because you don't know what they're going to post. They're strangers. You don't want to just like meet a random stranger online. You wouldn't do it. in person, so you need to be cautious around there. But I mean, if you have a really awesome Insta influencer that you want to follow and has millions of followers or even a few 100,000, like obviously that person is creating content for people to follow, so that's appropriate. But you want to make sure that that content's making you feel good and it's appropriate for you. Be cautious with your location tagging. So on Instagram, you can take a photo and then you can take your location. I would recommend that you are cautious around that, because remember, the internet is forever and you don't know who's looking at that and might be able to quickly come find you or something. I would just be cautious around there. You can unfollow people without them knowing. So say you have a friend that's starting to post things that you don't really like seeing or you think is inappropriate, you can just unfollow them. They're not ever going to know that you did unless you go through their friend list, but honestly, they're not going to be notified if you unfollow them. You can remove people from following you. So say there's somebody who's making rude comments on your Instagram and you're not appreciating that, you can just remove them from your friend list. Enough said. You don't have to feel bad about that. When you're posting on Instagram to your story, you can actually allow only comments from your friend list of people that are approved from, so you can only see those messages and not random messages. Which brings me to my last point, that when you're posting to your story, anyone can see that and you need to be cautious around what you're posting, similar to Snapchat. Okay, our last one is TikTok. Ooh, the big one. I actually found a really good resource that I'm going to read through, and then I'll post in the link below, and you can click all the different options and it'll teach you how to apply that to your TikTok account. And there's also a really fun video that I posted below that I feel like you guys are all going to want to watch. If you take anything away from this video, I want you to take away that you are in control of your internet presence. This means you're in control of what you present to people, what people can see, what personal information you give, and who you interact with. So I'm going to read through and introduce to you a few different ways that you can make sure you remain in control of your social media. So unique to TikTok, you can choose who you'd like to duet with you through music jams, so that's important. Also, like I've mentioned before, reporting inappropriate behavior is also important on TikTok to keep the community positive. Next is being thoughtful about your profile. This is just making sure that you choose the right things to reveal about yourself. Keeping TikTok positive. You want to make sure we're building an environment that is positive to create in, and that involves you making sure you're careful with what you say. You can also choose a private account like we discussed before, making sure that only people that you want to see can see it. Like Instagram, TikTok also allows you to enable comment controls and message controls to make sure that you are only filtering in people that you want to see and things that you'd like to hear. And again, we see it, setting screen time limits because we don't want to be spending too much time on our screen. Next is enabling restricted viewing, so showing you what you'd like to see in your channel rather than just random things. And then supporting the community. If you do notice people that are seeming a little bit weird, you can also report them. I hope you enjoyed this video, though a little lengthy, I know, but there are a lot of important things regarding keeping ourselves safe online, especially as we move forward in our lives. I hope you found these useful, and I'm sure if you abide by all of these things, you're going to create a very responsible online presence and enjoy your experience and not being exposed to dangerous or disturbing things. All right, well, I'll see you next week, and I hope you guys all have a great week.